Welcome back, awesome action toy fans and subscribers. Today I'm looking at boop, 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 boop. Number 57, Deep-Sea Ripper. Number 57, Manhunter. This is not an industrial puppet or their android puppet style. This is similar like the grave toads, the froggies that were fantastic. See suggest the videos, top right corner of your screen. These ones are animals or sharks, and we can make, there's 3 different heads that come in the actual box, plus you get repeats that are unpainted, but these are the colors that come in the box. It's going to look really good. I quite like that high thrust mode there as well. Looking very good. You can see there's variations in what you can have on the arms between this one and those ones. I think I prefer maybe these ones here. But you see that this part here is still shoulders. This part looks pretty good. I've got 3 of these box sets, so I am going to make at least one. Maybe I'll make all 3 at the same time, but I'll make it quite long. I'm going to do this in time lapse, I think, while watching a few TV shows. I think I'll stick it in this video, but if you want to skip past that, check the video description for the timestamps, and you can go to the final finished kits. Look really good. I love the artwork on the box. And these seem to be bigger than the previous ones. You can tell by the way that this dio piece curves over the top there as well. So I've got 3 of these. If I like them, I might get 2 or 3 more, depending. Because I have to say, of all the kit stuff that I've ever built, I've built quite a few in my time. Number 57 do the very best stuff. Very, very high quality. Okay, so I'm going to change my seating position. And I am going to do a time lapse and make 1, 2, maybe 3 of these. We will see while watching TV shows. And be back when they're done around this side to have a look at the models, the kits, the figures. Let's get into this. So here we are. Here is the completed one. Took a lot longer to build than I would have liked, and that's partly because in the first sort of piece I was putting together, I dropped on the floor and the piece went and I couldn't find it for 30 minutes. So like, but when I started building it, the entire build, everything you see here, took probably around about an hour 20, hour and a half. Now when I do the next one, I will bring that down to probably about an hour 10, an hour, and so on, as I'm used to the build. Some things are a bit tricky, you have to watch carefully for. Some instructions I have to look really, really closely at. But it is done, and it is fantastic. Let me just zoom out so we can see everything. So, as you saw previously, come these alternate heads. The hammerhead shark, nice paint abs, very nice on the teeth there. And these can fit on 1/18 scale figures, as I showed in the toy haul. So if I just quickly get a Marvel Universe Hulk, I could just literally stick that over his head. And I pretty much got a King Shark. So with a bit of customizing work, not too much, you can change a suitable 1/18 scale figure and get like a shark out of it, which is pretty cool. And it does come, and not just these 3 heads, including that one, but it comes with spare unpainted heads, 3 again. You come with this sort of water mine, which is fantastic, but it just feels a bit small compared to him. That is pretty cool. You come with this accessory, but it doesn't show you where to attach it on him, on the instructions, but there's a little peg here on the other side, so I can figure that out another time, maybe on his back perhaps. And it also comes with this, I'm going to call it a gun, but this is confusing. So first of all, it's got the usual sort of number 57 sort of folding handle, which you saw on the froggies, which is a fantastic feature. But what's confusing is, why would you have that part inside but you can't see it, you know? It just sort of stays in there, and then that can come off there. It just seems a bit strange that will come off and have these details but you can't see it. And again, the usual peg size we can see for attaching to number 57, their standard peg size. What's interesting as well, on the actual water mine, you have some of those pegs. You can see one here, here, and there, which is pretty nice if you want to attach a water mine to your Tide Ripper shark. Okay, let's look at the dio base, then we look at the shark itself. Now, this is a fantastic dio base. The reason being, if I open another set and repeat the process except for these 2 top bits, I can get a complete nice arc going there. an arch. Very, very nice. Well detailed as we're used to. Lots of holes in there for attaching things to. And you've got a hatch, and obviously with number 57 being so detailed, so highly engineered, that hatch does open. Very, very nice. Come to the shark itself. It is big. Now, I'll say this. I reckon if I buy another frog set, I might be able to make that bigger. I reckon I could attach a lower leg to here to make it come lower down. So I might consider that, and I'll do a comparison with the frogs and some other stuff in a moment. Looks absolutely fantastic. Let's get a little bit of zooming going on there. Highly articulated, lots of features, and there's lots of interchangeability. Unlike the frogs, there's less spare parts. There are spare parts, but you can change things around really, really easily. So look from the front. You see his hips aren't really even at the moment, but I can just sort that out like that. There we go. Very, very nice looking from the side. And I'm using his tail to balance him. That can come up. And from the back. Now, it does come with 2 ankle joints. The joints I've got in there are for transforming, and it comes with joints for standing. Now, you see it does stand using the tail as balance. But if you've got a standing joints, you can't transform it. So we'll look at the articulation, some of the features, then I'll transform it, and then we'll do a comparison. So articulation, there's nothing on the top. There is articulation. These are articulated. I'll zoom out. These are articulated. That's because they can double up as arms as well. And so if I show you, that will break open. These come open like claws, and this part comes upwards and away as well. So lots of articulation features there, and these do obviously move up and down and outwards and inwards slightly on top there. Shoulders go up, but not so far. It's a ball. They'll go around all the way, but some of the sculpting on the back will get inside. Arms bend that much, which is 90 degrees, and they will go straight and they will go back. This is part of the transformation process. He's also capable of going outwards and twisting on there, and these claws do open on the hand. Now, what is interesting is that this gun here, they don't have a hand that's suitable for holding that. That would suit the froggy's hand, and I'll look at that in a bit later. Unless I've missed something. Waist, we have a forward turn, a small forwards back, a small side to side. The tail goes like a shark, and it does go down and up too. Hips all the way, outwards slightly, trying to do a splits a little bit. Then you've got a small joint, knee joint here, which goes backwards and forwards, and then a ball joint on the feet, and the claws on the toes, or the toes, are articulated too. So you've got decent articulation. Very, very awesome looking figure, I have to say. Okay, so for transforming, so first thing you've got to do is you bend all the toes down. And then you also got to bend the body in a minute. This will go all the way back. And I just popped off a piece from his tail there, which I did the other day earlier. 2 pieces from his tail. These are just slide-on fits. Which way around? It should be that way around, I think. Is that right? No, the other way. There's one. And this should be 2. Okay. So one like that. Same with the other. Fold the knee up all the way. Foot will go behind like this. The body needs to come forwards and the tail backwards. The arms will go behind and slot in here. The tail there a little bit. Let's get his legs a bit more nicely done. And that same piece popped off again. Tempted to glue it if I'm honest. I won't put it back on at the moment. And then these can get in better, come forwards better. And that's a very poor transformation by me, but get the idea of what it will look like. Very cool indeed. So transmitting backs is very simple. Just bend the legs around again. Very stiff on the knee joints and on the claws on the feet, which are, have to look very close at the instructions and that, so you do get them in the right way. But if you do see what I'm saying, there is, no, loads of pieces are popping off now. There is no reason why you couldn't, rephrase that, you should be able to make this taller, possibly, by adding parts from the frog set, I think, not from this set. I think if you can add a lower leg again to where it connects to the foot, you'll get a bigger looking mech. And this is, or shark boy, whatever you want to call it. This is already large for the number 57, the largest one they've done, and it's large for 124 as well. Now, as I said earlier, you can pop these off here if you want to. Yeah, don't everything start falling off of me now. I'll try and take it apart. And once these are popped off, come on, there we go. You can actually change them around. It's not in properly. You can change them around with the arms, so you have a different looking arm like this. And this can come forwards as well. So you have an arm that looks like that. Still have the turn here, still got the bicep turn to 90 degrees, etc. Okay, so let's have a look at size comparison. So I'll take one of the grave frogs, so I love these sets so much. And see that these boys are bigger than the grave frogs quite considerably, especially if I put this part back on them there. It's going to tower above. In fact, I'll do that now while you admire my beautiful grave frog there. And I might attach it that way around so the joint's at the top this time, not the bottom. Okay, there's one. Right. There's one. Let's get my number 2 in. Now, if you've not got a grey frog, you need to get one. And if you've not ordered the sharks, you need to order them. They are just really good. And I have to say, I've said this in my the podcast I did with the Kits at Heart guys a couple of weeks back, that this number 57 stuff is the best kit stuff in my opinion. Really, really fantastic. So I put the joint at the top this time. So with that on there, you can see that it's considerably more bulky and bigger than the frog. Now, if I get a 124 scale Hexagear early governor, you're getting an idea of the size that they have. Now, this handle, you see, this handle looks like it would fit really well on a grey frog, like I said, because their hands are articulated. But his hand might have to be straight for it, because that's like the same sort of shape that their hands would normally close around. There we go. To give an idea how they scale with 118 scale, I will grab a AIM scientist from Marvel, and they are relatively large 118. And I will grab a Joy Toy maintenance engineer, so you get an idea of scale with one of the most popular 118 scale lines at the moment, or companies perhaps I should say. That can work in 118 scale quite easily, but as I said, I will be looking at maybe taking the it's a different fitting, that's the problem. Maybe trying to modify a lower leg from one of these to fit onto the shark to make it taller. With the standing ankle joint, it it won't make him much taller, maybe a millimetre or two. Fantastic figure. A great job again by number 57. They are really smashing these out of the park with fantastic sculpts, engineering and features. Okay, please like, share, subscribe, click on notification icons for the latest news, reviews, videos, etc. And I'll be back soon with more awesome Astro videos for you guys. Stay happy, keep collecting. Bye-bye.